First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kamarash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp, coming back at you again on another sit down. All right. Basically, I was listening to a little bit of the Elder Ayash of our camp about basically, the Purge isn't a fictional movie, and basically, because what? Because that's gonna come on the soils of America, and another thing too is, man, this whole, the shutdown that's supposed to be happening next month, EBT getting cut off, all these parents and all these trialists, and they don't scare the elect, all right? They don't we don't get scared, or we don't fear the things that's coming to America, all right? We get excited. Matter of fact, we're actually looking forward to it, if you will. You see? And through the Spirit, that's why I'm gonna name this video. The elect doesn't fear the end of America. All right. We rejoice. So as these people are franticing, are these people are out here, losing their heads, wondering where they're gonna get their next meal, looking for, trying to survive, and all scared out of all, and trying to, they're all scared and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do in the next couple of years or whatever. We don't look at the future like that, And when I say we, I'm talking about the men of the Lord, all right? The ones out here serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We don't look at this place like it's gonna go on forever. You see, we understand that America's gonna have an end. We understand that these things must come to pass before the end comes. All right? So that's just why we look forward to these things. Scripture says in the book of Matthew, it says, the Lord has not come to send peace, but a sword. All right? And if his time is drawing near, that means, guess what? Bad times are gonna start happening. Perils is gonna start being knocking at your front door. All right? You're not gonna always be able to wake up and have your morning coffee. Your toast and jelly. It's not gonna always be that easy. Things are gonna get real hectic and real hard for you people. And the scripture says what? Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So it's not even going to be a lot of love. This so-called fake love that you people share, that you people show, it's not even going to be all. You ain't even going to be able to have enough compassion on a person. You see somebody that has something that you want. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that show, The Walking Dead. This guy, he was I guess he was trying to rob this one guy, and he said, well, can I finish my fruit cup? And he said, no. And he said, why not? He said, because I want it. He had a knife to his neck. And it's reminded, that's how people's gonna be. It ain't gonna be, all about, oh, well, what can we do? Can we help you out? No, it's gonna be like, oh no, you got something that we need? I'm gonna need that, Scripture also says what? Friend, in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, it says, friends shall fight one against another like enemies. All right? And because lack of bread thereof, they will ravish each other's household. So guess what? If I ain't got something, then guess what? I know my neighbor got it, so I'm going to go over in my neighbor crib and get it and take it from him. You see? That's what type of time Jacob's trouble and the end of America is going to bring. It's going to be people, it's going to be at each other's necks. People are going to be at each other's necks. All right? What did Joker say in Dark Knight? He said, these civilized people, he said, when the chips are down, they'll eat one another. He said, they're only as good as the world allows them to be. Basically saying that, listen, these people, their true nature is to eat one another. Physically and literally. To eat one another is basically what? You being shabby, You're taking people's resources for your own benefit, You're going behind people's back. A lot of betrayal is going to happen. Hey, also quoted in the book of Matthew, it says what? The Lord, he said, father against the mother, father against the son, mother against the daughter, you know, and man's foes, which means his enemies, shall be they of his own household. So the people that you lived together, they're gonna be they're gonna be at your neck, you know. Also, what does it say in I want to say Luke or Mark, one of them? It says man shall a brother shall give up brother to death. All right. It says yeah, father shall give up son, children shall give up father and mother, you know, to death. Basically, what? Betrayal. You know, there's going to be a lot of betrayal. But see, when we read these accounts, when we read all about the bad stuff that's coming to America, all the bad stuff that's coming to this place, we don't get fearful. All right, we stay prayed up because we understand that. Listen, this stuff must have this stuff has to come. This stuff has to happen in order for our deliverance to come. You know. So when we see things like this, guess what? We get excited because the end is right there. Our deliverance is right at hand. You know, it's gonna be a fearful time. It's gonna be a scary thing to go through, but it's also gonna be an exciting time. It's gonna be what did the dude say off Matrix? I forgot the guy's name. Fuck. It was the engineer off the first Matrix. He was the engineer. He was the one who behind the computers. He did all the tech work, and he said, man, because he believed just as much as Morpheus believed. I don't know if y'all kept that in the movie. He believed just as much as Morpheus believed. He said, man, if you are who you say you are, he said, man, it's some exciting times, you know. So he was geeked when he seen Neo. He was geeked because he knew the end was coming. He's like, hey, listen, man, we gonna have deliverance, you know. The truth was going to be revealed, you know. He was happy, you know. So when we hear about, you know, government shutting down, people gonna be catching hell, people ain't gonna be able to eat, people true colors is gonna start showing forth, you know, what the scripture says, one people shall stand up against another, you know. You got your right wings versus your left wings, you got your pro-life versus pro-choice, you got your men, you got your feminist versus masculine, you got all these divisions, all these factions out here dividing the people up. All right, and the scriptures also talks about that. A house divided against itself cannot stand. You know, so these people can't even agree on one thing together. They might agree here and there, but then they might have a drastic disagree on this, and that's going to be their end downfall, just like how it was in the ancient Roman Empire. You know, the people was heavily divided one against another. Men wasn't marrying the women. You know, the Lord. Hey, when you look up the downfall of the Roman Empire, you can see the same accolades or the same traits are happening over here to America. Just to show you the symbolic, the symbolism of this place, it's gonna fall just like it did in the ancient world, which is the ancient Roman Empire. It's gonna fall just like the same. This guy's going slow, man. But it's gonna be for our excitement, man. When we see things like this, we get excited, we get happy, we rejoice, because we almost up out of this place. So when it's all said and done, when America goes through the perils and the tribulation or the plagues that the Lord sent upon it, the things that we've been telling you people, we've been telling you these for years now. We told you America's not going to be lasting forever. America's on its final legs. Anybody with a spiritual eye can see that. Shit, even elites can see it. The elites, they know America's done for. They don't even look at America as a real country. They look at it as a corporation, a business. You know? And what do you do when your business is failing? You declare bankruptcy and you start anew. But guess what? That's the thing. Esau Edom ain't gonna be able to start anew. They're not gonna have what is it? They're not gonna have the resources to come to rise back up, because that's their dream. You know, they're thinking that they're gonna rise back up as the phoenix. You know, be able to rise from the ashes, because implement they see him across the world and be able to solidify their rulership forever. But it's not gonna be like that. All right, but it will have an end, and their end is the beginning of our rulership. And that's another reason why we get excited. You know, our rulership is going to be dwelling. And listen, once we get in rulership, it's going to be forever. We ain't going to have no limitations. We ain't going to have no a cutoff point. We're going to rule forever. So, if you was to take anything from this video, like I always say, if you was to take anything from this video, take the perilous times, all the bad stuff that's happened. The elect ain't going to be fearful. We ain't going to be scared. We get happy. We rejoice. We look forward to this stuff to happen, because the end of this place is the beginning of ours. All right, that's all I got to say on the Lord. Lord, will this video was edifying for you brothers out there. Keep pushing, stay strong. Until next time, shalom.